Hey everyone, good morning. Happy Monday. James Azar here with the CyberHub podcast for your daily practitioner brief on June 8th, 2020. Everything you could possibly need in under 5 minutes. Let's get right into it today and not waste any time. Obviously, it's Monday. We're all on calls all day long. I really do enjoy doing this every morning. It kind of takes me out of the routine that happens after I publish this and put it out there for you guys to enjoy. It kind of gets me out of the back-to-back calls and everything else that goes along with it. So let's get right into today's practitioner brief with leading off with a story on the QNAP NAS devices that have been targeted in another wave of ransomware attacks. The operators of EchoCrike's ransomware have launched another wave of attacks against the QNAP network attached storage NAS devices. This gang has been active since June 2019 when they deployed their first version of ransomware, which were reported on back then. We were called the CyberHub Engage podcast, not the CyberHub podcast. And this was called your daily dose of cyber and not your practitioner brief. But I was actually looking this up this morning and found that we did a report on this initially back then in June. Well, these guys have ramped up their efforts. They've gotten a little bit better. Obviously, like all things ransomware and viruses and vulnerabilities mutate with time. So a few tips of advice here. One, there's a QNAP support page that's available on our PDF at cyberhubpodcast.com. You can get the entire practitioner brief in your inbox daily by going to cyberhubpodcast.com. Go to practitioner brief, sign up there. Similarly, QNAP owners are strongly advised to update their Qnap firmware and software of any Qnap software app or add-on they might be running on any of their devices. There's apparently some patches to go with that. SMBGhost attacks spotted following release of code execution POC. So SMBGhost, who's also known as Corona Blue and tracked as CVE 2020-07906, is a vulnerability related to server message block 3.0, specifically to how SMB 3.1.1 handles certain requests. The flaw affects Windows 10 and Windows servers. It can be exploited for a denial of service attack, local privilege escalation, and arbitrary code execution. CISA on Friday advised users and administrators to install the patches for SMBGhost and block SMB ports using a firewall, and warned that this vulnerability has been exploited in the wild already. The Malware Must Die Malware Research Group reported that the latest attack have also leveraged an open source tool that helps user identifies server affected by SMBGhost. We have a link to the Malware Must Die Research Group findings on this specific vulnerability. That's quite impressive, in fact. A spear-phishing campaign is hitting the developer collaboration system known as Zeppelin. A sophisticated spear-phishing campaign has targeted companies using Zeppelin, a collaboration system heavily used in the DevOps software development and product design communities. The campaign, launched in early May by a South Korean APT group, Higisa, took special aim at newer users of the service, lowering users with files purporting to be a project file and updates to copyright policies. The Pavilion-tailored Intel team, which discovered the campaign, noted in its published report that the malware used indicates that it's originated with an experienced, technologically sophisticated organization. A lot of companies use Zeppelin. In fact, some of the companies I'm a virtual CISA for use Zeppelin in their DevOps process. Something to really keep in mind. Spread this out to your DevOps team and your software development team and your product design team. They should know about this. If you haven't spoken to them about this, this is a great two-line email that you can send out letting them know what to look out for. You can find the full research on our PDF at cyberhubpodcast.com. And I want to start off this week on a high note. It's Monday, and typically I do Good Guys Prevail sometimes in the middle of the week. But Krebs on security, Brian Krebs, actually just posted something about a judge in Israel handing down a sentence plus fine and probation against Yarden Bitani and Itai Huri, both who were arrested in 2016 at the age of 18 in connection with an FBI investigation into vDOS. There's a great deal of information available on Qnap's on Security's website. I have the link directly on our PDF. You can go there to get it. That's it for your practitioner brief today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, follow us, like, share, let people know of the content we're putting out for you here today. Until tomorrow, folks, thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for tuning in. And most importantly, stay cyber safe.